If you're a Catholic husband earning good money, six figures, nice house, kids in decent schools, and your wife still feels anxious, overwhelmed, or unsafe in the home, you probably feel two things at once: gratitude that you provided materially, and this quiet resentment. What more does she want? If that's you, this video is for you. Because what I see over and over again in coaching and our patriarchy community is that high earning men who objectively are doing well often have marriages that feel tense, cold, and fragile. And the core wound from the wife's side is this: she provides the feelings of safety and warmth for everyone, but she doesn't feel safe herself. So let me read you a composite of various guys that we've helped. Well, I'm 38, practicing Catholic, 3 kids, income around 180K. We're not rich, but we're comfortable. Mortgage is fine, no consumer debt, but my wife still feels constantly anxious. She says she feels alone and unsafe, even though I've given her a great life. I admit I work long hours and I'm exhausted when I get home. I don't understand how she can stay home all day and feel she isn't safe when I've busted myself to provide that safe environment. So if that sounds close to home for you, you're not a monster, but you probably are confusing two kinds of safety that your wife actually needs from you as the head of the home. And in this video, we'll look at why financial safety alone doesn't touch her deepest fear, how high-earning husbands quietly starve their wives emotionally, the difference between household comfort and household order, and a weekly plan to provide like a man in the eyes of God, not just in the eyes of LinkedIn. So stay with me, because if you get this wrong, then you risk becoming the classic story we see over and over again. Nice house, good income, miserable wife who feels like a single mom. And you don't want that to be your legacy. So think about there being two different kinds of safeties: the bank account and then the nervous system. From Catholic moral theology, your duty as a husband is clear. In justice, you owe your family material support according to your state. In charity, you owe them love ordered to their true good. The church never says, as long as the bank balance is fine, you've done your job. Your wife is not a spreadsheet. She's a woman. Body, emotions, soul. And biology and evolutionary psychology are actually helpful here. Women's bodies and nervous systems are wired to read relational danger, at least as strongly as physical or financial danger. So that means chronic conflict, unpredictable moods, shouting, sulking, stonewalling, or a husband constantly absent, even while he's physically present, all register in her nervous system as not safe, even if the mortgage is paid. So when she says, "I don't feel safe," it usually doesn't mean, "I think we're going to be homeless next month." It means something closer to, "I don't know which version of you I'm going to get. When something goes wrong, I don't trust we'll face it together. I'm carrying the emotional chaos of this house mostly alone." But if you only ever answer that with, "But look at our income," you've misunderstood her, and she'll feel unseen. So here's how high earners quietly starve their wives. Let me give you a composite story. We'll call him Mark. Mark earns 220K in tech. He's done really well for himself. He has a wife at home and 3 young kids. He's not a porn addict, he's not drinking heavily, and he's at mass on Sundays. On paper, he's doing better than most husbands. But when we really dug into what was going on in his home, here's what it looked like. He was out of the door by 7:30 a.m. and he was home around 7ish. On his commute home, he would decompress by listening to podcasts, and then he'd walk in the door, say hi, and just collapse at the table. After dinner, he might have half an hour, 45 minutes with the kids, and then just a quick check of work emails, maybe the news. And then he'd be in bed by around 11, just scrolling some more to try to switch off. And when his wife tried to talk to him about how overwhelmed she felt, he'd instinctively defend himself. I'm doing everything I can. You have no idea how stressful my job is. Do you want to go back to renting and cheap food? Now, from his perspective, he was killing himself for the family, and she didn't appreciate it. From her perspective, she was thinking, I'm emotionally and physically alone. My body is spent, my mind is buzzing, and the only time I see my husband is when he's switched off. Now that's emotional starvation, not because he's a bad man, but because he's built habits that pour his best self into work and his leftovers into his home. Moral theology is blunt here. Your wife and children are owed more of your justice and charity than your boss is, and your household is the primary community you lead. If your work gets the lion's share of your discipline and presence, your priorities are objectively disordered. So here's a quick check for you. If your boss saw how focused, calm, and patient you are at work, and then secretly watched you for 3 evenings at home, would he recognize the same man? Or would he see a version of you who gives 100% to clients and 10% to wife and children? If that stings, you don't need to collapse into shame. You need to start acting like the head of the house in the one place only you can, your home. So let's talk about how. Now, many high earners provide comfort, but not order. Comfort means a nice house, a decent car, good food, holidays, maybe some music lessons or sports lessons for the kids. But order means clear routines, discipline for kids, tech limits, a clear budget, some kind of spiritual rhythm, and also calm leadership. Now, most of wives' deepest screams are nearly always about the need for more order. I'm doing everything with the kids. He's on his phone. He has no plan for discipline. I feel like the bad guy. There's no structure, bedtimes, prayer, chores. I'm drowning. Now, from the Catechism of Trent and also later moral theology, headship means governing the common good of the family. So that includes ordering time, ordering money, ordering screens, ordering discipline. If those are chaotic, she will feel unsafe, no matter how nice the kitchen looks. So your question can't just be, am I earning enough? It has to become, am I ordering this household as a man under God? So let's make this practical. For the next 4 weeks, try this. First, reorder your first 60 minutes at home. Make a decision once. When I walk in the door for the first hour, I belong to my wife and kids, not to my phone or to my inbox. So that means a warm greeting with touch, eye contact, affection, and a quick scan. What's on fire? Where's she drowning? And take one thing off her plate, whether it's kids' bath time, dishes, bedtime stories. Talk to her about what she's finding most stressful. You're telling her nervous system non-verbally the protector is home. You can exhale. A lot of guys don't understand this, that your wife actually needs protecting from your kids. And then second, a just once a week money huddle with your wife. Not a 3-hour meeting, just maybe 30 minutes where you look at spending, upcoming expenses, and also priorities. Ask her where are you feeling most stressed about money, and then listen without defending. Then decide one concrete adjustment together. You're still head, but you're acting like a Catholic head, consulting, listening, and making decisions for the common good. Then, third, have one order upgrade each week. Choose one area of chaos to address, and you can find these out by listening to her. Could be bedtimes, could be screen time, it could be the dinner routine, it could be getting ready for mass on Sundays, it could just be general house clutter. Lead the change, communicate clearly, and back your wife up with discipline. Over time, each small increase in order translates into a deeper feeling of safety for her. Fourth, pray like a man, not a teen. You don't need an hour in adoration each day, but you do need some kind of non-negotiable prayer routine, and that might be daily, because without grace, you'll drift back into old habits. So start with something like just in the morning, 2 to 3 minutes offering your day, including all your sufferings. Then in the evening, maybe 5 minutes as an examen. And then weekly confession, especially for failures in justice at home. Offer your work at the altar and ask Christ, the bridegroom, to teach you how to love your wife as he loves the church. Now, if this has exposed you and you're thinking, well, I'm doing fine in my career, but my marriage feels brittle and my wife doesn't really relax around me, then you're exactly the kind of man that we work with every day at patriarchy.com. In our private community for Christian husbands, we help guys take headship seriously, reorder money, conflict, and intimacy, and stop wasting years in half changes. So you'll get full leadership training and also a support group of men giving you full accountability and a one-to-one direct coaching call with me on your exact situation. So if you're done doing this alone, head over to patriarchy.com/start to begin your free trial. Now, in the comments, tell me, without shaming your wife, what feels most out of order in your home right now? How you allocate your time, your money, or discipline with the kids. Your honesty will help other men realize that they're not alone in this battle. And if you prefer, you can also just leave a comment saying what you found most helpful in this video. So thanks for watching. Go home tonight and show, not just tell, your wife that she's safe.